In the Koberger case, there are a lot of crazy things out there. One of them is that there's a question: did Kaylee Gonsalves have 10 bank accounts?
10 bank accounts? There's no way she had 10, right? Could it possibly be true that she had 10 bank accounts? I'm Lainey Law.
And I'm attorney Andrew Myers.
We've been hearing a lot of rumors back and forth on the internet that, Kaylee had all these accounts, that she was up to no good. But are those rumors really substantiated?
Well, I don't know. I was running through my wallet trying to figure out how many bank accounts I have. And no, I'm not going to show the numbers because I know you get mad at me. But I have a few of them. I have a few. They just fell on the table. But anyhow, I'm an attorney, so we have bank accounts. I have accounts for my clients and account for my business. I don't want to get into it, but yeah, we attorneys have a lot of bank accounts. But so I was minding my own business one day, and I was watching something that raised it as kind of a dark kind of a question: that did Kaylee Gonsalves have 10 bank accounts?
For someone so young to have so many accounts, that would certainly be odd.
Well, so I found out that if she had a lot of accounts, there's a reason for having all of those counts. And you know what? I actually was talking to her father. Her father and her mother have been through an awful lot, and they really don't have time for me asking them a stupid question. But you don't know me very well. I did. And here's an email that I received from Steve Gonsalves. I redacted out his email, but I have communicated with him, and this is a email that Steve Gonsalves sent me. Kaylee had a bank account set up for her when she was a child, complete with her own debit card, a practice we follow with our children. She was also, that's one. She was also listed as an authorized user on our Amex card to help her build her credit score. That's 2. Recently, she purchased a new vehicle, and we know this, likely coming with its own banking account. That's 3. She also purchased another car years ago, and that had a loan she paid off a few years early that was done through a local credit union, and that also came with a banking-like account. So we're up to 4. Prior to this, we had been working on setting up Kaylee's retirement accounts, which would likely be reflected in her account history. That's 5. Given this, it wouldn't be surprising if she had more financial services than usual. So there's 6. And, the thing about it is, a couple of thoughts come to mind. And one is that she had been out of the house in college for a few years. And do you know how you can open an account without really even thinking about it?
All those stores you go to that are like, you want to sign up for a card for 20% off?
Right. Yeah. That. And also, she had just gotten a job down in Texas. I mean, she was, living in college in Idaho, and she'd gotten a job in Texas. So she was a smart cookie. She was not one of these kids that just sat around doing whatever they do. She was a smart cookie. She had done very well in school, and she had lined up a job. And that's where she was going after this horrible, horrible, horrible weekend. So who's to say she didn't open up a bank account down in Texas, a checking and a savings account down there? Now, that'd be 2 more. And you can do that stuff online. I remember in the old days, you had to actually go into the bank and sign cards and blah, blah, blah. Here's how old I am. You would get to know the manager of the bank. Mm-hmm. Which is laughable because who knows bank managers anymore? But anyhow, so it's likely that she did that. One of the things that I do, I'm a bankruptcy attorney. I do bankruptcies, and you can't really do a whole lot of anything without them requiring that you open an account. I mean, as he pointed out, she just bought a new car. When my clients go to buy a car and they get a loan, especially the credit unions require that you open an account. And usually it's more than one account. There's the checking account that comes with the loan. So there's 2. And there's also, they require that you open up a savings account. That's 3. So it's really not out of the ordinary that someone has a ton of accounts. And so I don't know. It seemed a little bit unseemly that people are saying, oh, well, she was doing unseemly things. We talked about this in the previous episode. Oh, she opened up another account for drug money.
I love to keep track of all my illegal expenses and business.
What drug dealer goes into a bank and says, "Hey, Mr. Manager, can I sit down over there in the cubicle and I have $50,000 of cash I got from selling drugs? Can I open up?" I mean,
it's like the plug has a Square card reader. It's like, oh man, I forgot cash. Can I use my debit card? Here you go, buddy.
I mean, in this day and age, in 2024, I mean, it's not unusual to have a ton of accounts that are opened up. That you are required to open up. And Steve Gonsalves didn't even mention any account that she had with the college. Don't colleges often open up an account for the students?
That I don't know too much, but I'm thinking about even things like Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, like how many finance things, Zelle, like even on our phone, we have so many things that are connected to banking.
How can I have forgotten Venmo and PayPal and Cash App? Because, again, doing bankruptcies, I need to know everything that there is to know about my clients. I need to know about all of their bank accounts. They get scheduled in the schedules and the statement of financial affairs in a bankruptcy petition. And those are valid. The ones you just mentioned, those are bank accounts because money adds up in there. And at the end of the day, there's another one. I can't think of it, but there's another one that people that do a lot of stuff online use, and they accumulate money in there. If you buy something from me and send money into my account and I don't take it out right away, that accumulates. So that's a bank account. So I don't know. I just thought it was a little bit unseemly that there are some people out there that don't really, there's a difference between, as we said in a previous episode, between facts and questions. Facts and questions. If you ask a question in court, there has to be a good faith basis for it. You have to have a good faith basis for your question and any facts that are implied underlying the question. But that doesn't apply outside of court. And so people can say, well, did she do this or did she do that? Did she have one of those accounts that some girls have to do who knows what with? And I asked Mr. Gonsalves, and I know it was a silly question, so I apologize in advance, but he just wanted to authorize me to use that answer to that question and say that no, that those were the accounts that he knew about. And I feel that it's likely that she may have had other accounts that he didn't know about because, valid, legitimate accounts like PayPal or whatever, because people of her generation do stuff that way. And the other thing is the accounts that he mentioned, he only mentioned them once. But if you, as I pointed out, if you buy a new car, as she had a brand new car, and you open it up through a credit union, and I've seen this through my work, you might open up 2 or 3 different accounts with that one group. I know I opened an account with a credit union, and it was just a business account, but they made me open up another account, a savings account, and they made me buy a $25 stock, and I never used the savings account. I never put a penny in it. I never put one. So ultimately they closed it. So it was just an exercise in futility that the bank, required that I open an account, which I told them I wasn't going to use it ever. And they said, well, it's our bank policy that if you open this, you've got to open that. So if we know about 6 accounts, it's likely that she had a dozen.
And there's Target credit cards where I think you get like extra money off in stores. Then like how many young girls have like a Victoria's Secret credit card when they're out shopping.
When
it's
I
like
do bankruptcies, many, I'm not going to say almost every woman that I do a bankruptcy for. Oh boy, am I going to get nasty comments for this?
Well, it's so common to have the VS cards. I don't know what it is about them that has society in a chokehold, because you'll say no to a million different credit cards, but for some reason every girl has a Victoria's Secret credit card.
True.
If they shop there.
They do.
Yeah.
And they're not embarrassed. They just throw all the credit cards on the table, and I see that one. It's just like it's one more card. So what? It's really,
I think they might give you like free stuff for having it. I'm not sure. I know there's like some perks. I used to have one, but if you don't use it, they close it, and I don't do a lot of shopping. But I think it's that like, if you have a credit card and you buy like $100, you'll get like a free bag or something. So I think that's why it's very common. But also it's like how many stores like that you go in. I think Michael's, I went to go buy markers, and they were trying to give me a credit card. It's like everything you do, they try to give you 20% off with a card. So it's not super crazy to have a lot of accounts.
No matter where you go, you're right. And a lot of people don't read that fine print. People just sign it. And, they don't realize that these days banks are charging 28, 29% interest on those cards. So no, don't get those cards because you don't want to see me as your bankruptcy attorney. No, just don't. It's crazy. I mean, if you can't afford to pay it off, I'm the last person on the planet that should be giving financial advice, but at the same time, you got to read the small print. So I guess the moral of this story is, if you want to report facts, that's fine. Do we go right up to the edge sometimes? Yes. But if you're going to ask questions, I've expressed my opinions about this case, and that's one thing. But to ask questions in the way that kind of implies kind of an unseemly kind of a result, or an unseemly kind of a dark cloud hanging over someone, especially in circumstances that we're talking about here, I don't know. I just that's how I'll end it. I just don't know. So, please comment, send us your comments. I know I'm going to get comments on that one, but be kind, be polite, be respectful, whether you're in the grocery store or in the parking lot, but especially down here. Right, Lainey?
Yeah, no, thank you guys so much. Definitely.
You have been watching About the Law, a production of the law offices of Andrew D. Myers in Methuen in the Merrimack Valley of Massachusetts, and in Derry, just outside of Manchester, New Hampshire. Remember to click the like and subscribe buttons down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to share it with your friends and others. If you'd like to talk to me about an injury case, a car accident, a slip and fall, a serious bodily injury case, or some other case, please feel free to contact me. I'd love to talk to you. You can contact us through my website at attorney-myers.com. We have a contact us block, or you can call on one of the telephone numbers we've given there, or you can email me at andrew@attorney-myers.com. The foregoing is offered for informational purposes only. It is not intended as and does not constitute legal advice. Laws vary widely from state to state. You should rely only on the advice given to you during a personal consultation by a local attorney thoroughly familiar with state laws and the area of practice in which your concern lies. This podcast must be and hereby is labeled advertisement in some jurisdictions.
And that's that. If Andrew didn't cut me off, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you think. And no Victoria's Secret credit cards.
That's what happens when you let the lawyer push the buttons for the podcast. I cut her off, and I apologize profusely. It's like, I'm learning this stuff, guys. I'm learning this stuff. It's like, yeah. But I was trying to tell people to be polite and be respectful. Then I was rude and cut you off. So don't do as I say, not as I do.
Respect the startup hustle, guys. For when we make our mistakes, when we have 3 episodes with the audio messed up, we're doing our best. We're out here hustling.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.